Archana is going to discuss about first virtual memory. Over to Archana.
Can I present the screen? So good afternoon to all. Today we're going to discuss about the virtual memory. So virtual memory is nothing but a technique that the main memory uses a cache for its secondary storage. So it's all about the indirection concept. Here virtual memory takes program addresses and maps to the RAM addresses. If it is not without the virtual memory, the program address is equal to RAM address. Just consider this 32-bit program address space of 4 GB and you having 30-bit of RAM address, that is 1 GB. This is our RAM of our computer. Here program address space is more than the RAM address. So we need to store this complete thing into this. So it's really not possible. So first up to the limit we are storing this. After we don't have space. So it overlaps each other. So if we don't have VM, it crash if we try to access more RAM than we have. So if we have virtual memory, so the program address maps to the RAM address as same like that. So 32-bit of program address space, that is 4 GB. Here you have 30-bit RAM address space, that is 1 GB. And again it is which is more than RAM address. Now we are using mapping technique. Here just up to the space we map here. So after that we don't have space. So we are introducing a secondary storage, that is disk here. So we just directing the remaining memory into the disk. So VM mapping gives us a flexibility in how we use the RAM. So now we're going to discuss about the 3 problems that is solved by virtual memory. So the first problem, we don't have enough memory. Okay, some of the program address space to the disk. When we need it, we bring it into the memory. So here we have a virtual memory. We have the 32-bit of program address space, which is 4 GB, and 30-bit of RAM address space 1 GB, and we are mapping here program 0 somewhere else, in program 1 somewhere else, program 2 somewhere else. Up to this there is no space. Now we need to place this remaining memory into the disk. So here we are using the concept called here the memory management unit concept is used. So the program 0 is the oldest program. So it is transferred to the disk, and after that in the space of program 0, program 3 will be placed. So here mapping lets us use our disk to give the illusion of unlimited memory. So since we have more program address space, we have less RAM address space. This concept gives us to have an unlimited memory. So second problem is holes in our address space. How do programs share the memory and where do we put them? So just consider again we have 32-bit of RAM address space, that is 4 GB. We have 2 programs. Program 1 is 1 GB and program 2 is 2 GB. Now we can at first we are fixing the program 2. So we have 1 GB space and 1 GB space. So now we can place here. So there is no problem with that. Just consider this case 2. And we have program 2 GB. Again program 3 is 2 GB. And randomly it was placed here. Before the program 2 you have 1 GB and after the program you have 1 GB. But you can't place here. So this does not allow the program to place. It doesn't allow to split the program in place. So virtual memory allows that concept. So now we are mapping the program to somewhere else. Now we have 1 GB up and 1 GB down. So the program 3, using mapping, we are splitting into 2 segments. So this concept is known as segmentation. We can split the program into many parts, and we can place it in the empty space. So each program has its own mapping. So mapping let us put our program data wherever we want. Then problem 3, how do we keep programs secure? So each program can access any 32-bit memory address. It means if problem 1 is occupied a place, it can also be occupied by second program, and it can also occupied by third program. So that is without virtual memory. So what if multiple programs access the same address? Yeah. So if multiple programs access the same address, it may cause corruption and crashing. So here we can't have the security and reliability. So just consider this is an example. We have a RAM address space, and program 1 GB is about your bank balance. It is stored in the program address 1024 here. And now the second one is it's around 2 GB and your game score. But unfortunately, it also placed in the same space. So the data got corrupted. So if we try to access your bank account, but you will be getting your game address. So the data is corrupted. So to avoid this, we can using virtual memory concept. A program 1's and program 2's address map to the different RAM addresses. So because each program has its own address space, they cannot access each other's data. So we can get a security and reliability here. And okay, virtual memory maps the address to the RAM address. Again, we just consider the same one. Program 1 is your bank balance. Now we are mapping to the program address of 1024, and using mapping technique, you are mapping to the RAM address of 1. Now it is occupied. So once it occupied, it cannot access by other program. So next program 2 we are using, so same address, but mapping goes to RAM address of 2. Now the game score is stored in another one. So we can avoid this kind of corruption and crashing of data here. So how does VM works? Basic idea. So separate memory spaces. Here we have virtual memory. Virtual memory is appeared to be present, but it is not. Okay. So what the program we says. So here we have example. This load register 4. This is our data and this is our address. So okay, then physical memory. The physical memory is nothing but the RAM in your computer. If you have 2 GB of RAM, you can have that capacity to hold. So now virtual address. Virtual address is what the program uses or used by a programmer. So in MIPS, this is the full 32-bit address space. 0 to 2 power 32 minus 1. Okay, here we have physical address. What the hardware uses to talk to the RAM. And the address determined by how much RAM is installed. Then making VM work translation. How does a program access memory? Okay, here we have program executes a low specifying a virtual address. Computer translates address to the physical address in the memory. If the physical address is not in the memory, the operating system loads it from the disk. The computer then reads the RAM using the physical address and returns the data to the program. So just consider this is a virtual address and we're having physical address. We need to transfer the data. So how we will do? So now we're having this is data and load register 3, and this is your virtual address. Using the concept of mapping, we're going to map here. So it was mapped in this table 1024. It was mapped to the physical address of 2. Now we are going to there. Then data is taken from here. So after that, it was same process for a second one. Load register 2. We having the address of 512. It was 512 is directed to the RAM address of 12, and you having here, and data is taken here. So add register 4, register 2 and register 3 doesn't need a translation. So again we going for next one, load register, fine, and has the address of 786, but here the 786 directs to the disk, but we have enough space here. So after it's reached the disk, it again a translation occurs, it directs to the RAM address. So we having it was mapped to 4. So again we have to take the data. Page tables. Keeping track of virtual address to physical address of mapping. So page tables is nothing but this one. So mapping of virtual address to the physical address is the page table. So we have a first column. This pairing of virtual address to physical address. This pair is known as page table entry. This entry. So page table size. We need to translate every possible address in a program have 32-bit of virtual spaces. Here 2 part 30 words that need page table entries around 1 billion entries. If we don't have page table entry, we can't access our data and the physical address. So how can we make this more manageable? So we can use instead of words, we can use pages. So here we have fine grained method. So 2 part 30 word is used for mapping. So to reduce that, we have 4 KB pages. Each entry now covers the 4 KB only. So pages are used here instead of words. So then address translation. Address translation is otherwise called as address mapping. It is mapping between the virtual address and the physical address. So here this virtual address is further broken down into virtual page number and page offset, and this consists of each page entry handles around 4 KB of address space. Okay, in virtual address, the lower part of 12 bits is known as offset. Same as physical address, the lower 12 bits known as offset. So remaining things are called, this one called virtual page number. So here we can see this is page offset, this is physical page number, and this is page offset. So for each page we have 4096 address, that is 12 bits that don't get translated. It doesn't get translated. So it determines the page size. So how much the page size it will be transferred to virtual address to physical address. After separating 32 bits and in that page offset you having remaining 20 bits, it will be suppressed in this 16 bits using page table. Okay, translation walkthrough. How to do a page table lookup. So now we're having a virtual address, physical address, and page table. Here we're having 32 bits, 28 bits. So virtual address is determined by the set by a ISA. ISA is nothing but instruction set architecture. Here it is determined by the ramp, your computer, ramp of your computer. So this is page table. Here we can have here we have 12 KB pages, that is 12 bit of page offset. Same for virtual address and physical address. There is no translation occur. So this is physical page number and this is virtual page number. So we just be taking one set of this each mapping of virtual page number to the physical page number is known as page table entry. And now we are just going to map the one set. So now we are just taking this one. So virtual page number is mapped to the physical page number and it gets transferred to the physical page number. 10 page offset is translated, and page table keeps mapping for every variable page to physical page. Each and every set will be mapping here. Ma'am,
Yes.
that's it, ma'am.
Okay. Action I have completed.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, please try to answer this question. Before that, you have any doubts, you can ask. Anybody has any doubts? Or you want me to explain again? You can ask me.
Yes, you can post your queries, students. No queries?
Okay, then I'll ask a question. Try to answer this, please. So, a question is, you have R12 has a value of 1536. A program issues load register 3, and what is the location of ramp is accessed?
Yes, anyone answer this query? Yes, students, try. You can message in chat box.
Okay, this is your virtual address, and this is your data of virtual address. So if you are going to map the ramp address, where we will map. So you can see this concept. You can refer this.
Now guess the answer. Students, are you all listening? Unmute and reply. Aarti, Abhinav, Ankam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, guess what is the answer for this? Yes, you yourself explain, ma.
Okay, ma'am. Here we have 1536. That is the address of virtual address. So the question is the virtual address, where the virtual address mapped to the RAM address. We having the option of RAM address 0 and RAM address 1536, and need more information. The answer is need more information. So we didn't have the location of RAM. Okay. So we don't have. So the program access virtual address 1536, but to know what RAM physical address is accessed, we need to know the mapping from the virtual and physical. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, ma, fine.
Over to Banu.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nazni. I'm going to take the rest of the part here from here. Ma'am, is my voice audible?
Yes, your voice is audible, ma.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now from this we are going to learn about page faults. Ma'am, is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, visible. You can continue.
Thank you, ma'am. So now we are going to learn about page faults. What happens when data is not in RAM? We saw that data will be in RAM, so we just want to translate it by using page table. So if we don't have the pages, if the page is not in RAM, so what we are going to do? So here is the question: how do we know that if it is not in RAM? So what's the indication that it is not in RAM? We have three options here. No entry in the page table. Second is page table entry points to disk. And third is address does not fit in physical address space. Can anyone guess what's the answer? Let it be wrong. At least guess what's the answer. Anyone? If it is not in RAM, how will come to know that it is not in RAM? The value or the memory, the data is not in RAM. Anyone for this question answer?
Kindly reply, students.
You can guess it. Let it be wrong also. It's okay. Choose any other. Out of three, choose anything.
Yes,
Anyone?
Please under C option.
Option C.
Option C. Okay. Okay. Except option C, any two? Anyone going for one or two? One or two option? Wait a second. I have to come to Google. Any other message except option C? Okay. Thank you for your response. Okay, nice try. The answer is option 2 because I will explain from here. Virtual address. In virtual address, it splits into virtual page number and page offset. And in between, we have page table. Okay. Here we have a physical address. One second. Okay. Here we have a physical page number and here we have page offset. The answer is page table entry points to disk. You can see here we have virtual page number 00000 and page offset is 783. So this page of it's untranslated. That means need not to map to get data from memory or to get data from disk. So exactly we can map this to the physical address of the offset. So no need of translation, directly we can map this. So the main part is the virtual page should be mapped to physical page table. Okay, the virtual page should be mapped to the page table. In page table we have page table entries. These are the page table entries and these are the physical page number. You can see in this first page table entry, it is point to the disk. Okay, so by this we can know that it is not in RAM. Okay, And if you see the option 3 you have chosen, right? So the address does not fit in physical address space. So if it does not fit, then how we are going to map the values to the physical address? Okay, if the value here, if the data here does not fit in this page table, then we will be not able to do this whole process. So the option 3 is wrong. Okay, if you go to option 1, no entry in page table. In page table there will be all entries of the data which we are going to map to the physical address. This is not the case. We don't have any entry, it is not the case, so it is wrong. So first and third is wrong, second one is the correct answer. So here this entry, as I told, this is point to the disk. So this is pointing to the disk. So we don't have the data in memory. We have to get into the disk, then we have to load the data, and then we have to update in the memory. So how we are going to do that process, now we are going to see. So when the data is not in disk, when the data is not in the table, okay, page table will say that it is the page is on disk. Okay, so from page table we can come to know that the page is in disk. So after knowing that the page is in disk, what Hardbase does, it generates the page fault exception. Page fault exception is error. Okay, the page is not proper, or we have to write it back again. So what it does, it generates the page fault exception. Okay, then hardware jumps to the operating system, because hardware only just generates the page fault error. It's not going to handle. The main part is going to do is operating system is going to handle this page fault error. Okay, so what it does, this operating system chooses the page which we have the error page. Okay, that is in RAM. In RAM we have that error page. So here a page to evict from RAM, evict in sense to remove. If we remove that page fault exception in the RAM, we have to write into the disk again. We have to write the data into the disk again. Then after that writing, if the page is dirty in sense here you can see the dirty mean the data has been changed or returned. So if the data has been changed, it need to be write it back again in the disk. Okay, if it is not changed, that means it is not returned, because it is loaded from the disk. So we don't want to write it again. So after doing this two process, writing back and getting data, what the OS does, it will read the page from the disk if we have any other page fault error. After doing this work, it puts into the RAM memory. Okay, then we got the memory here. Okay, what it does, we have to update the page table. In place of disk here, see, in place of disk here, we have to enter the data here. You can see here the data entry is 3. Like that, we have to enter the data in place of disk. So OS does this work, updating the value in the disk to map to the new page. And after doing all this work, updating and writing, what OS does, it again jumps back to the instruction. In this, but this time the page fault does not occur because OS has loaded that page. So the page fault does not occur. Like this, we are going to do the process. If we have the page table entry points to the disk, we are going to do this process. So again, there is a question. Please try to answer. Let it be a wrong one. How long does it take? So doing this process, how long the OS or the hardware generates the page fault error, how this process, how much time it takes. So there are 4 options here. First is no time, second is a short time, third is a long time, fourth is an amazingly, incredibly, painfully long time. So which one you're going to choose for this process? How much time it's going to take? You can text, no issues. You can text in chat box. A, okay. Any other answer except A? Please come forward. At least text. Let it make it interesting. If you don't understand the concept, I'm ready to explain it again. Any other answer, please?
Interaction is important. Yes.
Okay, C. Anyone B or D? Anyone B or D? Let it be, it's wrong. No issues here. None are perfect here.
Okay, all students
So no
try
one-
and give your answers.
Shall I give the answer?
44 students heard that.
Okay, B. B. Okay. D. Abhinav Gautam D. Okay. Anyone? Okay. Thank you for your response. Abhinav is correct. Okay. Because it will take amazingly, incredibly, painfully long time because discs are much slower. So rest of the three are wrong because actually this will take a long time because disk is slower than RAM. So we have to load the data, we have to read it the data if they have page fault error, and then we have to load it in memory. So then we have to update the page table. So these many process is there for page fault error. So actually how much cycles it take is 80 million cycles it will take to complete this process. So it is a huge time it will take to update the page fault error. Okay. So any doubts in this, the topic page fault? Shall I move to the memory protection? Shall I move to the memory protection? Okay.
Proceed, ma. They will not reply.
In this memory, it's okay, ma'am. Okay. At last, you can have your doubts. Okay. I'll be ready to answer it. Now we are going to move on to the next topic, memory protection. Here, using virtual memory to prevent programs from corrupting each other. So we have to prevent the program from accessing each other's data. That is necessary because sometimes the data might be lost, or we need to spend time to search the data at particular location, at which location the data is present. So in this concept, virtual memory helps to deal in this. So now we are going to move on to the virtual memory to protect applications here. So here you can see this, you can analyze this. This is the same setup which was told by Archana. Okay, in first slide you can see. Okay, this is if each program has its own page table, then we can map each program's virtual address to unique physical address. So each program should have the own page table, then only we can map into the different locations. Okay, unique locations. It should not corrupt or crash, because if you don't have this mapping in between, what will happen, this program 1 and program 2 has same address. You can see 1024, here's also 1024, and this program does not know where to map and which location others address data is shared. So what they will do, they'll map onto the same location. See, in one we have 4700, right? In that same location this address will be mapped, so it will have overlapping. Okay, so by this overlapping the data can be lost, or it will be difficult to identify. So these many problems will occur. So virtual memory will overcome these problems. It will avoid the problems. So program 1 will map to the location 1 and program 2 will map to the location 5. You can see it is not overlapped and they are not sharing anyone's data, and it is secure, safe, and it prevents from accessing each other's data, so it will be safe. From virtual memory you can learn it that. Okay, now we are moving on to the program address space in Linux. So in address, how the Linux is defining the address space. So how it's partitioning each virtual address into many things. Okay, here the data is not wasted, the memory is not wasted. So by this you can see, in first point, each program has its own 32-bit virtual address. See, any doubts? Okay, 32-bit virtual address, it is almost 4 gigabytes. So one program has 32, another program, so each program has 32 virtual address space. In this, first is kernel space, second stack, libraries, heap, data, and text. So in this kernel space, 1 GB is reserved. So we can't access any memory, we can't read, write in this kernel space because it is reserved. Okay, and here this tag goes maximum size downward, it will go, and we have the shared libraries in between, and we have heap that goes upward, and the data, that is stack variable, and text program binary. Here we can write codes, okay, data codes. And the last, the red one, that is 128 MB, around 0, it's unavailable here. In between you can notice that there is a RAM offset. In between kernel and stack we have random offset, and stack and library we have random offset. Okay, so actually what this random offset does, it gives the security. If you don't have this random offset, the kernel space and the stack will mixed up. Again the same issue, we can't identify where the code or data is exactly, so we have to take time for searching. So this random offset will provide us security. So by this, at particular location, that kernel space or stack that are stored, so at that particular location, if we search, there will be short time and we can get the data fast. So here second point is Linux define how the data space is used. It is using a perfectly data space. Okay, security is also there, we can access the memory here, we can, in data and text we can write the code and data we can access here. So here first 1 GB reserved for kernel, as I told, 1 GB is reserved. Then we have program stack data at the bottom. These are the program stack we have at the bottom. Then the heap grows upward, so this goes upward, and the stack goes downward here. So here you can see the third point, it enhanced security, as I told, and we don't know exactly where the piece of code and data will be. So for this purpose we are using random offset. For the next, so this is the setup explanation, actually what is how we are going to map. Okay, in program 1 we have virtual address space, in program 2 the same, we have kernel space, stack, libraries, heap, data, text. Here also we have the same, and we have here random physical address space. Okay, so here in program 1 and program 2 you can see the kernel space are mapped in same location, they are sharing the data there. Okay, and in program 1 the stack is mapped, and program 1 and program 2 libraries are shared here. Okay, shared data is mapped to the both, so sharing data, both can access that data. If you have if you want to just mapped in another location, you can map it. You can see in the program 2 they are mapped in another location only for program 2, and heap is mapped here. Here you can see mapping allows program to share data. By, you can see your libraries are shared, by mapping they are shared here. Separate mapping allows us to keep program isolated. Here libraries are separately mapped. Okay, so this, by this the program is isolated. Isolated means not connected. Okay, not connected. So how we are going to provide this separate mapping? Here we have provided the mapping that shares the libraries. Now we are going to move to the next thing, that how we are going to provide the separate mapping here. Okay, before I told each program has its own page table. So virtual memory does this. Okay, each program will have each its own page table. Okay, this also you can see it has own page table for program 1 own page table, and we have here RAM physical address here. Okay, always make sure that they only map to the same physical address when we want sharing. So they should be mapped to the same physical address. You can see in program 1 page table here they have highlighted in black color. Okay, this is page table entries, this is physical page number. In page table entries you can see there are 2, and here the physical page number is 4. So it is mapped to the location 4, not in 1 or 2 or 3. The meaning of this is the meaning of the sentence is this. Okay, it is mapped to the same physical address when sharing. So this is shared to the RAM physical address. So 4 is mapped to the location 4. So who is going to take care of this is operating system is going to take care. So you can consider this as an example. Here is a load word register 2, and second program same load word register 2. We have virtual address 2 for both of them. Here we have program 1 and 2, the page tables. As virtual address is 2, so they are mapped to this 2. Okay, and for this the physical page number is 4, so they are mapping directly to the physical page number 4. So you can see this blue color, they have mapped there, and here they have written as physical address is 4 because the address of physical space is here 4 and virtual address is 2, so they have mapped like this. Okay, and here you can see the same thing, but the physical page number is changed, that is 9. They have mapped here 9. Okay, and physical page number here is 9. You can see 1, 3 and 6 in blue color. 1, 3 and 6. 4 is already mapped, and here 5, 8 and 2. So in purple color 5, 8 and 2. 9 is already mapped. You can see at the last 000E here it is there in program 1, and program 2 000E. So what they have done, they have shared the both of the data. Okay, they have shared both of the data as we saw before here. See, the libraries are shared here. As the same way they have shared this purple and blue, the program 1 and program 2 data are shared here. So this is the concept of separate mapping. Okay. So now we are going to move on to the next topic, making virtual memory work. Okay, how we have to make this virtual memory faster. So how we are going to do this virtual memory faster, we are going to learn now. VM is great, that is virtual memory is great. Unlimited program, memories, protection, flexibility. So here, actually in our RAM we don't have a lot of memory, so that only we are going to the concept virtual memory. So we have, you can see here, unlimited program and memory is mentioned. So it has unlimited memory, so that we can map or we can translate to the our RAM physical address, and we can store the data there. And it is protection, it is secure, as I told in before slides, and it is flexible. There is security purpose, but it comes at the high cost. Why it comes at the high cost? Because if we need to access anything in the memory, we have it has data or instruction, we have to get it from a page table. The data or instruction, we have to get it from page table, and this page table, what it does, it will translate from virtual memory to the physical memory, from virtual address or to the physical address. So here is the main point here. Need to access, first it will access a page table, then the access memory is, it will access memory address, that is virtual or physical, and this memory access is doubled. Okay, actually this is the real problem here. Due to the virtual memory, the memory is doubled here. So here 1.33 memory access per instruction. So this is fast. It can't be slow. We can't use this in software. Okay, how can we make a page table lookup really fast? So here software would be slow. So we are not using in this 1.3 memory access. So it does not fit in software. So we can't afford this extra 5 instruction because it will kill our performance level. Okay, if the performance level is good, then it goes down to bad. So for that we are going to hardware. Okay, we are going to hardware. We're going to build a cache. In this hardware, we have the bunch of page table entries, and this page table entries is accessed by cache. Okay, we are going to see that how it's accessed by hardware, making VM, virtual memory, fast. So TLB you can see here down the full form, translation look aside buffer. Okay, here is a setup. Here's a processor, comes output as virtual address. Here is a memory, it needs a physical address. Here's a full page table, 4 megabytes. Okay, if you try to access data from full page table, it loads and it brings back to the virtual memory, that is virtual address. But this process takes too long. If you don't have data in this if you don't have data in this processor, you have to access this page table. Then it will load it, and we can receive the data from processor. So this process is too low. Okay, this is too slow. This is too slow. So what we are going to do, we have to add something in middle to make this as fast. So that is TLB. So we are making this TLB smaller and faster to make the translation faster from processor to the memory. So how we are going to do is, this TLB is it takes less than 1 cycle to access memory from processor to the Okay, we have to do it for every memory access. For 1 cycle, if we need to access memory, we have to do it. But it is fast. So we can translate anything from processor to the memory. And it is similar to cache. Okay. Okay. Example. If you don't have data in TLB, then you have to access it from page table. Then this page table will load that data in the TLB, and this process is also too slow. So at once the data is added in this TLB, what happens? The translation process from virtual address to the physical address, it becomes faster. The data is reached faster to the physical address. So to be faster, this TLB must be small. Then only we can do this process faster. For separate TLB, we can't afford one TLB for instruction and data. So it should have instruction TLB and data TLB. For 64 entries, we have 4 ways. 4 ways in sense we have 4 locations or specific locations. Okay, for this 64 entries, and the page is 4 kilobytes. Okay. And for second is 32 entries. We have 4 ways. This is 2 megabytes. Page table is 1 million entry. You can see here 1 million entries, but here are lesser. Here we have 64, we have 32. This 1 million is larger than these two, but it takes a same amount of time to take the total amount of entries, but it is possible because of this lots of locality. Okay, miss rate are typically only a few percentage. Because of this lots of locality, we can access this millions of entries at same time how this 64 and 32 is accessing. Okay, let's move on to the next one. What happens when we access memory? Okay, when we try to access memory, what are the good and bad, what we What are the steps for this? Okay, first we go to good, then we are going to bad. Okay, so good is page in RAM. So if the page is in RAM, so what is going to happen here? So this is the setup, the same setup we have here. Processor, TLB, full page table, memory. It is big and slow, you can see here. This is smaller and faster. Here we have disk. So let's consider the first one, page in RAM. If we have page in RAM, then the page table entry is in TLB. Okay, this is the first case. This is the second case. So the first case is TLB, page table entry is in TLB. PTE is page table entry. Okay. So this page table entry, if it is in RAM, if it is in TLB, okay, if it is in TLB, then we can access faster from virtual address to physical address. And it is excellent also. Mostly, this process is mostly we are looking for to make it faster because it is less than one cycle. Okay, so this is one case. For second case, PTE page table entry not in TLB. If it is not in TLB, then we have to access from page table only. So as I told before, if the data is not in TLB, we have to access the page table entry, and this process gets slow, okay, by loading and by accessing the data. After getting it, it becomes faster to translate the virtual address to the physical address. So if it is not in TLB, then it will be poor. Okay, if it is accessed properly, it is slow. But if it accessed, then at least it takes 22,000 cycles. Okay, with 1.3 memory access per instruction. We have 1.3 memory access per instruction, but we can't afford this 22,000 cycles. Actually, it kills our performance. Before I have told in this. Before slide I have told that it kills our performance. Okay, so this was the good condition 1 and 2. Let's go for bad one. The page not in RAM. So the page not in RAM, then it signifies that I have asked the question of this also. The page not in RAM, then it signifies that it is in disk. Okay, so they have the two condition here. We have PTE in TLB. PTE not in TLB. So first, it is not page table entry is in TLB. If it is in TLB, then also we have to access the disk only because the page is not in RAM. So if the page is not in RAM, it signifies that it is in disk. So if the page is evicted from the disk, that is, if the page is removed from the disk, then in TLB it will be there for long time, the data. So that is also will be removed here. So we will not have any data here. So we have to access the disk, okay? And then for one cycle, it takes to know it's on disk. It will take one cycle that the data is on disk. We have to load the data and then we have to load send that memory, that data to the TLB. It will take one cycle to know that itself it is on disk. Then for transferring that data, okay, then for loading that data, it takes 80 million cycles. Okay, so this is the first case is very horrible. It will take a long time to access this. First one cycle for knowing that data, it is in disk. Then for loading it, it is in to TLB. It takes 80 million cycles. Then go for we are going for condition 2, case 2. Page table entry not in TLB. Okay, if the page table entry is not in TLB, then we have to access this page table. Okay, if we access this page table, again we have to go to the disk because in page table in entry you can see it will point to the disk. Okay, because the page is not in RAM, so it will point to the disk. So we have to go to disk. Okay, to know that it's in disk, it takes 22,000 cycles, and again for loading it takes 80 million cycles. It is slightly horrible, not in the case of case 1. It is slightly horrible. We can wait. Okay, here it takes such a long time. Yeah, just 3-4 hours, I think so. I don't know the correct one. So it takes slightly horrible. Okay, this was the good and bad. If we, what happens when we access the memory? So this was the good and bad for that. So from here we have completed the using virtual memory, how virtual memory works faster. Okay, now we are going to TLB concept. TLB, translation look-aside buffer. This is the example. It's just like a cache. As I told before, it's just like a cache. It's similar to cache. So here is an example of empty TLB. You can see here TLB, these two columns are empty. So this case is of a empty TLB. We have the virtual address here. We have the virtual address here. Ma'am, it's almost 4 o'clock. Can I continue, ma'am?
Yes, still more. How much slides remaining, ma'am?
And another one topic, it's there, ma'am.
Okay, next.
And another one topic and summary.
One topic. How much of slide remaining?
Okay, ma'am. Slide. I think 3 or 4 slides, ma'am.
Okay, what student you say? A few slides only remaining. You will continue and wind up. Unmute and reply, students. Actually, this topic should have been taken at the morning. I feel afternoon session. But topic and
Sleepy.
yeah. Presentations are very good and conveying also proper. Yes, Aarti.
Ma'am, we can finish, ma'am. It's
Yes, only
2 to 3 slides. Yes,
only
ma'am.
now we'll complete. And maybe this topic can be again taken on morning session. Myself also will convey this topic again in some other day after completion of all the seminars. Okay?
For recaps.
Okay, recap like we'll do. Okay, now you completed, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually,
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
More slides are there.
I have 6, 7, 8. Yes, yeah. It will come 15 at least slides, ma'am. For this one topic, TLB example, it will come
Okay, then
with everything
then,
summary.
okay,
It will come
we need
15.
not get to hurry up of completing the topic. Okay, no issues. This virtual memory and TLB last we will skip. Okay, after completing Abhinav is Monday, right? Abhinav, unmute and reply.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah, you
ma'am.
should
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
present Monday. Okay, after completing all the seminar, at last also we'll present this virtual memory and TLB.
Okay, ma'am.
And that's enough.
Any other doubts till this?
Yes, if you have any doubts, you can say.
Yes, ma'am. Till this, any other doubts? Can I stop presenting, ma'am?
Yes, you can stop now. You can send this information in group.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Both have did their
Okay, ma'am.
presentation well. Archana C and
Thank you, ma'am.
Good
Okay,
presentation.
ma'am.
It's okay.
Thank you for this
But
opportunity,
little
ma'am.
vague topic only.
You have given to
Which-
present the seminar.
Yeah. You both were very much interested in that. No issues. And the topic is little bit vast. So you need time to display
Yes.
and say the points correctly. So no issues. Let me again recap this topic. I myself also will teach this virtual memory and TLB conversions. Then any doubt you have, students?
Any doubts?
You just you just pass
At
this
least now you
PPT
can
in
respond in
the
text.
group, okay? In classroom,
Okay, ma'am.
you
Sure, ma'am.
pass this information.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Any doubts?
So as usual, you have
We'll
to
wind up
encourage,
soon. If
yes,
you
encourage
tell
your friend by your chat message.
No doubts?
You both were done a good presentation and you have taken more steps in understanding the concept. There is no doubt about it. Okay, it shows how how the way you have conveyed.
ma'am.
So no doubt. You have
It took
prepared
little
well.
time to understand the concept.
Yes, yes, yes.